Hey guys, how's it going? And today we're going to be talking about why the seventh generation of gaming lasted so long. And that's the Xbox 360, PS3, and the Wii. Now, I'd say the only longest generational gap that happened was the Super Nintendo to the N64, and this was because of the development of the 3D graphics. And it's weird, throughout gaming, there's short generational gaps. For example, the original Xbox to the Xbox 360. I'd say that was a 4 or 5 year gap because the original Xbox dropped in 2001 and the Xbox 360 dropped in 2005. That's a very short generational gap. Or another example, the NES to the SNES. That's another 5 year gap. Or 6, because I'm not sure when the SNES came out. I think it was either 1991 or 1990. I'm not too sure. But I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Generational gaps in gaming are typically, pretty short. 3 to 6 years, it's pretty short. But with the Xbox 360 to the Xbox One, that's almost like a 10-year gap. That was like 9 years. Let me explain why. There's this little thing in 2008. It was called the housing crash, or it was like a stock market crash or whatever. Now, when it comes to stock market and economics and financial stuff like that, I don't really know too much about it. I just looked up the basic facts about the 2008 housing crisis or whatever. So I'm just giving you guys basic facts, and I'm basically gonna tell you what that has to do with gaming at the end, but I'm just gonna spit some facts right now about what happened in the 2008 financial crash. My apologies, it's actually called the Great Recession, but this affected everybody from small businesses to big businesses to housing to rent. It affected everybody. I even know somebody personally that got laid off because of this. How this happened was bankers and realtors sold houses to people that didn't really have good credit. And of course, with everybody buying houses, the housing market just dropped a little bit. Houses were going down in value. And of course, people in the stock market didn't want to invest in realty because, again, the housing value was going down, And with houses going down and people not paying their mortgages, the banks had to foreclose a lot of homes. And of course, the banks are losing money. So you can see where I'm going with this. Because everything was going down from banks to houses to realtors, everything just went downward for a little bit. This is basically how everything started, I guess. Now, the point I'm trying to get at is the video game industry. Now, before this ever happened, everybody bought the newest consoles: the Xbox 360, the PS3, and the Wii. Now, remember what I said before: the generational gaps are usually short, from 3 to 4 to 5 years. Let's not also forget the gap between the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One. That was basically 9 years. So because everything was taking a downturn between 2007 to 2009, nobody could really afford a new console. And I'd actually like to bring up another point. Shout out to Hatham Gruxon for this. He's one of my best YouTube friends out there. But the Xbox 360 had 3 lives. Just think of it like this. The Xbox 360 had 3 main dashboards. It was the Blades dashboard. Then there was this other one, I don't know the name of it. Then we have the modern one. Same thing with the PS3, except not software-wise. They lowered down the price, they summed down the system. They made it as cheap as possible so anybody could pick it up. And then they came up with all these new versions of the PSPs and all that. And the Wii basically stayed the same. The DS, however, got a lot of variants, got a lot of upgrades and downgrades, I guess. You had the regular DS, you had the DSi. It was a lot of variants, and of course they had to make it cheap so anybody could pick it up. Now, as me and Hatham Gruxon were discussing this, we thought there could have been like an in-between generation, I guess. There could have been an Xbox 720. Think of it as like a Sega Neptune, where it was a mix of the Sega Genesis and the Sega Saturn. There could have been an in-between generation between the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One. There could have been a souped-up Xbox 360, or there could have been an Xbox Portable. We never know. But of course, with the Great Recession happening, nobody could really afford any new consoles. If I had to take a guess, Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo weren't willing to take a risk on a whole new adventure because, Great Recession, everybody was kind of poor. Everybody was kind of broke. So the gaming industry was at a weird place at this time. They didn't really... Of course, they were making the new console, but I was gonna have to wait till a few years later, till like 2013 or 2014. I will say this though: a lot of great games were released at this time. GTA 4, Portal, Fallout New Vegas. A lot of great games released at this time. At least while we were going through the Great Recession, we had a lot of great games to play. Well, alright, this was a weird video to make. I had to do a lot of research on something I don't really know much about, but hey, I think it's worth talking about. You know, the gaming industry was at a weird place at this time. It was weird. Hell, I could still remember coming home back in 2007, 2008, coming home and watching G4. Those were good times. But if you want to like, subscribe, dude, if you want to, no rush, and tell me down below what games did you play back in 2007 to 2009. I guess it might be too personal, but if you feel like answering, how did the Great Recession affect you? I guess I don't know. That's a stupid question. Just comment something down below, and yes, I guess I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Hashtag retro gaming.